Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Thank you. Another year, a big welcome to all of you, the families and graduates of the 2023 class of MG21. I got to tell you, this is my favorite night of the year when we get to do this graduation. So, as I said, a big thank you to all of you and to all of you for attending MG21. I say it every year, but of course it's a different audience every year. The reason we exist is because of and for you. So that's our MG21 mission. A couple of things before we get the real program going. I want to just recognize a number of the governance board members who are here. Before I do that, let me just explain real quickly. MG21 is run by a governance board which has a contract, a charter contract with the Monona Grove School District. And it is that board that runs MG21. And this evening, board members from the governance board that I saw Sue Carr back over there someplace. I saw Ryan Claringbowl also back over there, maybe back over there. I also saw Sandy Homburg, Elizabeth Wheeler in the back, and Raiden Edseth Griffin is right over here. And those are the members of the governance board who are in attendance. There's only one missing. Quick note about Raiden. Raiden is a 2021 graduate of MG21. He's been on our board for 2 years, and he's now leaving our board because he's going to Earlham College in the fall. So, and Raiden has been a great board member. He also runs the Restorative Justice Program, so all these guys know him. So that's part of the program. In addition, there were some, what we call the big board, which is the Monona Grove School District Board. Rochelle Miller is here, I believe, somewhere there in the back. Laureen Gage, right here. Somewhere over here. And Susan Manning is over there somewhere. And then finally, recognition and a big thank you to our district administrator. Let me rephrase that. Our school administrator assigned by the district, Shelby Steele, over there. And last but not least is the superintendent of the entire Monona Grove School District, Dan Olson, who is over there somewhere. He's the guy with the stuff on his face. Okay, let's get the show going.
How is this? Can you hear me okay? Okay. Each year, as we reflect on our graduating class and look back on some of the experiences that have shaped them, I try to find a word or phrase that epitomizes each unique, eclectic group of students. Last year, the word for the senior class was resilience, as they crawled their way out of a pandemic and to the finish line. But this class is so very, very different. So what word could I best use to describe this class? This year's senior class started their high school journey in the pre-pandemic world. Their freshman year, a few of these students were in my diseases and epidemics class where, as we studied historical outbreaks, we debated whether or not there would be a viral outbreak big enough to shut down a city the size of Madison. The consensus was clear: never. And then, well, you know what happened next. Most of these students didn't return or even join our school until the start of their junior year. So in many ways, this senior class was born just 2 years ago and had to begin by relearning everything they would need to know to have the kind of futures that we all wish for them. So a word for this senior class could be relearn. In the past 2 years, this senior class has needed to relearn how to have in-person friendships and significant others. They have needed to relearn how to handle conflict, breakups, breakdowns. They have needed to relearn nonverbal cues that show anger, frustration, happiness, acceptance, or a silent call for help. And then they had to relearn how to handle it when others saw those same nonverbal cues in them. But our community needed more from them than just relearning. So that's not quite the word I need. What if it's not just relearn, but it's stepping up? That's better. Our community asked them to step up, and they did. They stepped up to lead our school. They stepped up to mentor younger students. They stepped up and determined what a path forward might look like for them and for our community. So this class returned from a pandemic to a community that was struggling, and they relearned and they stepped up. But they didn't stop there. They found their voice, they found each other, they found those next steps forward on their path. They started to heal themselves, and they started to heal our community. So I think I've got it. My word for last year's class was resilience. That class had to make it through. This class, though, this class's word is healing. They didn't just make it through. They made it better. They moved themselves and our community forward towards healing. When you listen to their speeches tonight, you'll hear about challenges, adversity, hard work, and most importantly, you will hear about growth and healing. Thank you to the class of 2023. Thank you for helping us heal.
Boy, I'm sure sorry that we're so packed and that it's a little bit warm. Thank you all for bearing with us, seating challenges and everything. Good evening. I'm Rebecca Fox-Blair. I'm the Executive Director of MG21. And tonight we are fortunate to be able to award 3 different scholarships to 3 students. And so to start that off, I'm going to introduce again Tom Stolper.
Me again. This is the last time for tonight, however. This scholarship is presented by MGBMA, which is the Monona Grove Businessmen's Association, which is an organization that was formed some north of 60 years ago in Monona, and has, during that period of time, done things for the community, wide-ranging, including examples, the Veterans Memorial down at Huska Park, various pieces of equipment for the fire department have been donated, the scoreboard down at Hawkride Field. Those are some of the things that the businessmen have done. The scholarships are named after deceased members of MGBMA, and this particular scholarship is named after Gordy Stendahl. Gordy was the longtime owner and proprietor of what is today Tully's on the bottom of Monona Drive down there. Some of us have been in there. I don't know. But anyway, so tonight's scholarship goes to a young man who's had a huge impact on the MG21 community with his quiet leadership and positive energy. He has served as a student representative on the MG21 Governance Board, which is why I didn't introduce him when I introduced the rest of the Governance Board, but you'll see who he is, and has been an active member of the Student Voice Committee. He will attend UW Whitewater this fall to study video game design and development. So this year's MGBMA Scholarship is awarded to Danny Howes.
Hello, I am Andrea Friesen, and I'm the school social worker at MG21. And I will be introducing the Jerry Ann Nelson Scholarship. The Jerry Ann Nelson Scholarship recognizes a student who has made positive contributions to the community in and outside of school. This year's recipient has been a role model and school leader during his 4 years here at MG21. His love of learning and curiosity has pushed him to excel both academically and personally. After graduation, he plans to take a gap year, while during which he will lean into his passions for cycling and traveling, while taking classes at Madison College to explore his options. He plans to attend a 4-year college the following year in mechanical engineering. This year's Nelson Scholarship is awarded to Arlo Weissman.
Our final scholarship will be awarded by Randy Munn of the Madison Monona Optimist Club.
Don't get old. It's just so nice to see people in something other than blue jeans or sweatpants. Usually I get a hand from parents when that is given. I am a 1965 graduate of Monona Grove High School. That's a long time ago. And my class was the one that they split when they built La Follette. And so because everybody south of Cottage Grove Road went to Monona Grove, and all those north went to east before they built La Follette. And when we had our 50th reunions, because that was the first reunion from La Follette, but also a 50 year from east, there were dances at Eastside Businessmen's about every Friday night. And all 3 schools were well in attendance, and we discouraged anybody from west in coming. There was no memorial at that time. And but at any rate, what we decided to do was have a Friday night 3-school reunion at Eastside Businessmen's down below, and over 600 people showed up, which was pretty amazing. Anyway, I decided to wear a tie just so everybody could see what they look like, and so that Tom wouldn't feel alone. But at any rate, I've been in the Optimist Club since 1972, over 50 years, and we've done a lot of things for the community over the years. Jerry Nelson was in the club for a long time. Many other Monona Grove people, Ray Charismatic, Ed Schwan, Loyal Sargent, Bob Winter, lots of names that you might remember if you've been in Monona for a while. But the one advice that I would give all of you is, no matter what you do in your life, be sure and give something back. It doesn't matter what you join or what you do, whether it's church, scouts, a service club, something in the community, it's important to give back for everybody. And with that thought in mind, having given a large introduction, the Optimist Club motto is Friend of Youth, and we've had a lot of youth as friends over the years. Let's see. Our scholarship's going to be awarded to Liberty Boynton. She's bright and cheerful in the community, and is going to further. Oh, you're right here. That's okay. I'm kind of fat. And she's going to go on and further her education in business, nutrition, and wellness. She hopes to help others and eventually have her own skincare line and nutrition line. So we're very pleased to award her a scholarship to further her education. Could you come with me so I could get a picture of the two of us? Thank you.
Thank you all very much. We're pleased to have had this opportunity for our students. And now probably the moment that everyone's waiting for, a chance to hear from our students in their own words. So I'm pleased to introduce the class of 2023 and our first speaker.
Thank you. Hello. I'm very proud to start off this incredible line of speeches. My name is Felix Johnson, and I joined MG21 my junior year. As much as I would love to try and speak something beautiful and profound, spinning words of wisdom for everyone to keep like many seniors before and after me, it wouldn't feel right to force it, so I'll just say what's on my mind. I've learned an immeasurable amount of things here, each more priceless and powerful than the last. But the most important is that I can be myself, in all of my messy, lovely glory, and be celebrated. I came here as a hard shell, deeply rooted in my beliefs that I was at my best when I wasn't noticed at all. There were many attempts to pry me open, to give me the space and time and resources I needed to be present and active in the community, but I didn't get around to blossoming until the start of this year. Ask my teachers, and they will proudly tell you how I completely transformed, another successful case of their care and encouragement. I am leaving here having faced my biggest fear, holding a presence. Taking the leap to let people in as I became an independent being was entirely nerve-wracking. I was still learning the truth of how I acted and behaved without the constant influence of approval of others. And to have people trying to get to know me as well made things feel a little complicated. Bit by bit, I dropped the dead leaves and branches that were no longer serving me. Like shaping a bonsai, I sculpted the version of myself I always wanted to be. It feels less like I fundamentally changed, and more like I uncovered my true self from the brush. Thank you, Michelle, Rebecca, Jody, Ollie, Jean, Stacy, Kevin, and staff. Of course, all my progress took a lot of hard work on my part, but I truly could not have made it here without you. I've been fighting to stay alive every day of my life. There are still times where I struggle, when it feels as though my leaves wilt and the sun burns me. I think that's something I'll always have. But I've accomplished so many things I thought were impossible for me. I'm standing here now, graduating, when I thought I would be dead years before this could ever happen. For that, I'd like to pay a special thank you to my mother. In the background of all my worst, most unreasonable days, you were there for me no matter what. Somehow, you always found the time to give me anything and everything that I needed. I am so incredibly blessed to have such a wonderful support team, to have these skills of self-perseverance and righteousness, and it all sprouts from you. It's horrifying leaving. It's horrifying and sad and relieving and so happy and sad. There's a quote that really resonates with me through this process from the children's book series, The Little Prince, and it goes like this. Bit by bit, it comes over us that we shall never again hear the laughter of our friend, that this one garden is forever locked against us, and at that moment begins our true mourning, which, though it may not be rending, is yet a little bitter. For nothing, in truth, can replace that companion. Old friends cannot be created out of hand. Nothing can match the treasure of common memories, of trials endured together, of quarrels and reconciliations and generous emotions. It is idle, having planted an acorn in the morning, to expect that afternoon to sit in the shade of the oak. I will mourn this loss, no doubt, but I am treasuring the time I had, and I am trusting that this is a process. That leaving is a seed I will wait on and water until it flourishes. I'll still fall asleep tonight with fingers crossed, hoping for the end of the world before I can wake. But the smile on my face as I get up in the morning will be from the memories I have here and from the hope that I have for more. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ren. A lot of people know me as Carter, but that's not me. During my time at MG21, I've grown from a very socially anxious person who refused to connect with anyone to an only slightly socially anxious person who has a much easier time connecting and communicating with people. It hasn't been a fast process or an easy change, but I believe that the only thing that matters is that I'm able to be here now talking to you all, something that I never would have dreamed of a year ago. I'll be coming out of MG21 with a lot more experience, mostly social experience, but also a mostly great final 2 years of mandatory schooling. At the end of the year, I went on the senior trip as seniors do, and while I was out there, I learned a very valuable, important life lesson from my friend Jean that I would like to share with you all. Jean taught me that holding hatred in your heart for people and things alike will do nothing but debilitate you. I carried myself throughout most of this year as a rather hateful person, and that's my biggest regret. Looking back on it, I wish that I would have been able to worry about myself and enjoy my final year of high school. There's no use in dwelling on the past, so I'm here now, ready to take on the newest chapter of my life, this very important knowledge. Thank you, Jean. Not everything this year was negative, though. I met somebody that I love very much, and I would not give her up for anything. She really has helped me get through this year, constantly reminding me that I'm not alone. I've met some pretty cool people that have helped me through this year, and I'm very appreciative for that. I feel obligated to thank all the staff for making this year as good as it was. You all put so much effort into your work, and going into class is always a treat because you're all so passionate about it. I'd also like to thank our new teacher, Belle, for all the hard work that she's put into the school, and congratulate her on getting a new position next year, solidifying her as an integral part in our community, and bringing some diversity to all of you, no offense. This year has been an absolute roller coaster, so many ups and downs and twists, but one thing that I know for sure is that much of life, if not most of life, has to do with being around other people. You can't do things alone, and with that knowledge, I feel much better about the present and my future. I have a newfound understanding of how to tackle problems and life experience in general, and that's necessary to know before I go out into the real world. Finally, I want to thank all of my family who've come here for me today and guided me through my youth. Mariana, Mom, Dad, Candace, Kate, Jacob, Beth, Kim, I love you all, and I cannot wait to start the next chapter of my life with you all by my side. If there's anything I want you to take away from this speech, it's that anybody, regardless of how socially inept you are, can find love and passion for life anywhere if you look hard enough. Thank you.
Hello, my name is George Bernards. Around a year ago, I had a therapist tell me that if I stayed on the path I was on, I probably wouldn't make it past my 18th birthday. That's when I decided to apply to MG21. I needed a change and a fresh start. MG21 is the best decision I've ever made because here I'm alive and graduating high school. The path here has not been easy. It's been a lot of trial and error, but I've learned to not do it all alone. I have a support system here. I have people who care. MG21 has taught me school doesn't have to be all about being the best and feeling pressure to be the best, which was my downfall. Before MG21, I was so stressed about being good enough, I made myself physically ill. Literally, I became partially paralyzed on my entire left side of my body. Instead, I realized school can be about learning, and learning doesn't just mean regurgitating facts. I've learned that learning is about enriching your brain and seeing the world in new ways. I absolutely love and always have been learning, and I just didn't know I could spend 40 hours a week doing something I love. On that note, people might think I lowered my ambitions by coming here. I was set on going to medical school before, and now I want to be an artist. But that is the opposite. Before MG21, I could not see myself living into adulthood. It seemed awful and unbearable to be alive. But in realizing that I don't have to be perfect, I have excitement for my future. I actually can imagine being alive in 5 years, which is a drastic change from even 4 or 5 months ago. I can have a life doing what I love. I have so many people to thank for supporting me. I could have not made it through all the changes in my life without the guidance of the staff at MG21. They've always encouraged me to do what I love, not what I think other people might want from me. They helped me explore my interests and refound my passion for learning. I also need to thank my family for always standing with me, even at my lowest points where I must be exhausting to be around. And finally, I would like to thank the MG21 community as a whole for accepting me for me and showing me so much kindness that I've never experienced before. I cannot wait to see where my life takes me. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Liberty Boynton. I am an only child, and for the first 12 years of my life, my family and I moved around place to place because my dad served in the U.S. Marine Corps. Until moving to Cottage Grove, the longest I lived in one place was 3 years. I have lived on 3 continents, 3 countries, and in 4 states. Though we moved often, the military gave me a strong foundation. I have gained empathy for all ethnicities and a big appreciation for people of different cultures. Because of my parents and this lifestyle, I am who I am today. Self-confident, adventurous, dedicated, and honest are the words I would use to describe myself. I have always been a happy-go-lucky, go-with-the-flow kind of girl. I think those attributes still hold today. However, I am more wise when making choices. I am currently an intern at Cosa Spa. I like making our clients feel at home and serving them with my whole heart. I try to make clients feel comfortable and safe. My hopes for my future are to attend Madison College and get a business degree along with nutrition and skincare. Then I can start my own business. I would like to share my gratitude on this special evening. First, I would like to give God thanks and praise for bringing me to MG21 and providing the awesome staff who understands and accepts me for who I am. Everyone has left a mark on my life in one way or another. Thank you, teachers at MG21, for helping me discover my path and work towards my goals. Thank you to my mom who encouraged me and helped me get through high school, and Dad for helping me with math over and over again. Thank you to my family who supported me through school by giving me words of affirmation. Last but not least, I would like to thank my fellow classmates in high school for making it a blast. If I could leave you with one thought, it would be if you think positively in all you do, you can push through and be successful in anything you put your mind to. Thank you.
My name is Kimana Krab, and I've been a part of the MG21 community for 2 years now. When I think of my freshman self, I feel as if I am thinking of somebody who does not exist anymore. I have learned lessons and gone through experiences that have helped shape who I am now. I have grown into a more mature, level-headed version of myself, and am proud of how far I've come. I am so thankful for the opportunity I was blessed with to join MG21. During my time here, I have realized my journey as a learner is not for the benefit of others, but for the benefit of myself, and I've realized that I'm only punishing myself when I don't take initiative of my responsibilities. I've accomplished many things that I'm proud of and will continue to take with me in my future. I'm thankful for what I've been taught and learned. Being in a place where creativity and independence is encouraged has given me the opportunity to dive deep into my interests and strengths and create an image for myself in my future. One of the reasons I have come to love and appreciate MG21 is the community aspect of things. Being involved with the community here has helped me expand my social skills and opened up new possibilities for myself that I never considered before. This has been such an inspiring experience for me, and I'm so grateful for the connections that have been built and the memories that have been made. Last but not least, I would like to recognize and thank everyone who has helped and supported me during my time here. I would like to give a big thank you to my classmates and the teachers and staff for being there to remind me that I'm not alone and we're all in this together. I'd like to give a big thank you to Rebecca for being a role model teacher and inspiring me to be my best self no matter what. I'd like to thank Joel and Michelle for always pushing me to do better and reach my goals. I'm going to miss gossiping with Ollie and crying on her shoulder when I'm sad. I can never thank her enough for all the amazing advice and insight I've received from her. Thank you to Jean for always telling the best stories and having the best classes. Thank you to Stacy for always being so kind and understanding. And thank you to Jody for always being a positive influence in my life and reminding me that I can do hard things. I love you all. Finally, I want to express my love and appreciation to everyone outside of school who has been a part of my life and helped me navigate through difficult times. Thank you to my family for never giving up on me, my boyfriend Kian, and my best friend Melody for always having my back and reminding me that I am loved and supported. I'm going to miss MG21 and everybody I've spent these past 2 years with, and I will never forget my time here. Thank you for coming.
Hi. I'm sorry about my voice. I have a cold.
but hi, my name is Imani Fisher. Well, many people and events in my life have shaped me. Perhaps the most pivotal event occurred during my first year of high school. Less than halfway into my freshman year, I was the victim of a violent crime, which happened at school. I was sexually assaulted during a basketball game by someone I looked up to and considered a friend. Initially, I went into a debilitating depression. I didn't think anyone would believe me if I told them. He was cool, popular, older, and on top of everything, he was on the varsity football team. I told no one and ended up developing severe anxiety, struggling academically, and losing all confidence in myself and hope for my future. Before this event, I had been a star student with high honors, had a seat on the principal's cabinet, and was in multiple student organizations. But afterward, school became a dangerous place, and I was scared to even be there. My grades began to slip. I lost all interest in all of my clubs and sports. I had nearly resigned myself to a life of despair and disappointment. With the support of my parents, teachers, friends, and a therapist, I decided to report the incident to my high school and local law enforcement. This took a tremendous amount of courage. It required me to finally face what had happened when I had spent all this time trying to keep it a secret. In the end, the perpetrator was not held accountable. Though I was angry and grieving, I was also stronger and healthier. Through fighting for myself and not giving up, despite the odds and the pressures at school, I was not only freed from the depression and anxiety, but I came out of this experience more courageous, more resilient, more confident, and filled with hope for my future. Before this, I would spend my days hiding in the bathroom, the one space where I knew no one could hurt me. But once I regained that piece of myself that made me the confident and intelligent person I know myself to be, I started applying myself in school, going out with friends, meeting new people. Each step forward felt like a challenge and even frightened me, but I pushed myself anyways. After this event, I transferred to schools, knowing that I wouldn't be able to excel if I stayed. Despite my fear, I did it. I knew that my inner strength and desire to thrive were greater than my fear. MG21 gave me a space to heal and reignite my passion for learning. MG21 was a school environment where I felt safe, which was something I had not had in a very long time. Transferring was the best thing I could have done for myself, and I am so thankful I made that choice. Although this event has definitely left me with trauma that I'm still working to heal, this experience has made me learn to trust myself, ask for help, speak up, and most importantly, that I am stronger than I think. Life isn't fair, life is hard, and life is a constant challenge, but growth comes from what's thrown at us. These trials teach us about ourselves and the kind of people that we want to be. Lastly, I would like to give thanks to the people who have helped me get to the place that I am now. My brother Jacob, he was always there to make me get off my butt and try. My parents for always supporting me, even when I mess up. My friends for calling me out on my laziness and forcing me to put my full effort in. My family for cheering me on in all my endeavors. And finally, my teachers. Thank you so much for pushing me to pursue my passion for writing. Thank you for getting on me and encouraging me to try. Thank you for supporting me even when I am less than likable. And thank you all for pushing me to where I am now.
Oh, I'm not graduated yet, sorry. All right. How you folks doing tonight? Thank you for bearing with us. I know it's a little hot in here. Alrighty. Hello, I am Elijah Hippie. I have been a student at MG21 since my freshman year. When I was younger in elementary school, I didn't think about life or my future in the same way that I do now. Back then, I was busy spending time with my favorite people, my parents. I have a mother who is very loving and kind. Her patience with me appears to be endless. My father, well, he's one of the most kind-hearted people I know. As a child, I would watch over his shoulder as he created slideshows to share with the youth that he taught and guided. There's one quote from those slides that I will always remember. This quote is from the movie and the real event, Freedom Riders. When I look out in the world, I don't see nobody that looks like me with their pockets full unless they're rapping a lyric or dribbling a ball. So what else you got here for me? I grew up in a small town community of Stoughton, Wisconsin. I only thought the only way to make it in life and to be successful was singing or playing sports, because that's what I saw around me. I made the choice to come to MG21 for high school because I was looking for a new start that would better fit my hands-on learning style. Looking back on my 4 years of high school, it is clear that I am not the same person that I am today. The road to senior year was not easy. It was filled with lots of challenges and even some questionable choices I made that created bigger obstacles I had to overcome. I guess I just had to find myself and find my way. Today, I have become an adult and changed in many ways compared to where I was when I first started here at MG21. I have found my own path forward to do that by combining my passion of cooking with my love of service. I'm not sure where the future will take me, but we'll see. I want to thank those who shaped me into who I am today. My amazing, supportive parents who have guided me throughout my entire life with endless love and patience. If it weren't for them, my life could have been much worse. They saved me from a life I couldn't even imagine having to live. I want to thank my grandma, who has traveled all the way from California, my grandpa, who has almost endless wisdom he shares with me every week. I'd like to thank my whole extended family. I know I couldn't do it without you. You have all pushed me and supported me to be who I am today. And to my teachers that have had a huge impact on my life. High school was a rough one, and I'm not going to lie, these teachers right here are some of the best educators out there. Sorry, I lost my place. I want to thank all the chefs that have helped me find new opportunities within the community, from helping cook at indigenous fashion shows, to cooking beside a chef that is also a state representative, to cooking at a new restaurant in the beautiful Atwood area, and making dishes that come to life. I want to thank all of you for listening and coming here to support us all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Danny Howes. I've been at MG21 since my sophomore year. My freshman year I was at MG. It wasn't a bad experience, but I knew I could have more. My best friend Berto was at MG21, and I would always hear stories of it and how much he loved it. After COVID hit, we started online school at MG, and I knew that that was the moment to make a change. I applied for MG21 my sophomore year, and when I was accepted, I was embraced by the whole community with open arms. The feeling that this school gave me, I didn't know was possible to get from any school. After just a couple weeks, I knew that this was the place for me. If I were to write a list of everything that MG21 has given me, it would take days. But one of the most important things is that I learned who I am. Before coming to this school, I was never sure of what I wanted to do with my life after school. Throughout different projects and experiences here, MG21 reinforced my belief that design is my passion. After all the stress and anxiety of not knowing where I was taking myself, now in the fall, I'll be going to college at UW-Whitewater to study video game design and development. But enough about me. One of my favorite parts about this school is the community. We're more tight-knit than any other school that I can think of. Coming back after COVID and the 2021-22 school year was rough. There was a large dip of overall compassion and kindness towards one another in the community, and it made it hard to feel at home for everyone. However, the most amazing part in this was that we all recognized that there was an issue. With the help of each other in the community, this year we've had a great year. That's the power of MG21. No other school has it, and we've all learned from it. Whether we realize it or not, we'll carry it with us for the rest of our lives. Everyone who works at this school is a teacher, maybe not in an educational sense, but there is not one person here who hasn't taught me something valuable. So thank you to Rebecca, Joel, Michelle, and Ian for teaching me to love school and always having my back and helping me through classes in the ways you did. It's something I've never experienced like this in school before, and I don't know what I would have done without it. Thanks to Kevin for the endless amounts of M&Ms he let me steal from the conference room. And thank you to Jean, Stacy, Ali, and everyone else for being there for all of us. You're just as valuable to this community as everyone else. Lastly, thank you to my whole family, but especially to my parents for always having my back and making the decision to come here, even though you guys may have been unsure at first. I couldn't have started this journey without you guys. Out of the many lessons I've learned at MG21, the biggest one I took out of this year was to realize the amazing things you can bring into your life, such as this school and all the people in it. Never take something like this for granted, because it will come to an end, but that's part of the beauty of it. I don't know if I'll ever find a second home like MG21, but if I don't, I've learned to be okay with that. This place will never disappear, and the memories and lessons we've learned will live on with us for the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Gotta move the stool back over here, I'm short. Sorry. Hi, my name is Spencer Milhon. I've been in MG21 for 4 years. If I'm being honest, telling the story of the last few years of my life is a daunting task, to say the least. Knowing this chapter of my life is coming to a close both excites me and haunts me. In reflecting on my experiences, I often use the walking your path metaphor that defines MG21 to make sense of where I've been. Now, the way I see it, I'm standing at the top of a mountain. Many more lay ahead, but for now I'll look back over the road I followed to get here, and at last I'll catch my breath, even if all I get is just a moment. My high school experience, our high school experience, the class of 2023, has been anything but typical in itself. We got a little bit of a tease of what high school was supposed to be until the entire road suddenly came to a halt in March of 2020. 2 extra weeks of spring break, everyone cheered. Well, that aged like a carton of milk from a school lunch left outside on a day exactly like today. Year and a half later, spring break finally ended. I don't even know how to describe junior year here without using any profanity, so I'm not even going to try, but you get the point. It was bad. Then, just as we all started to figure things out again, even a little bit, we're suddenly seniors. We're graduating. It's over. Just like that. I still don't know how to feel about it. In a sick kind of way, I'm actually grateful for everything that knocked me to the ground because it's forced me to get back up with more passion than I ever had before. I've gotten lost along the path many, many times, but instead of throwing in the towel, I forged my own path. I cut through the thorns and made my own way to the finish line. That's not to say I was alone, though. I've never been truly alone on this road. So with that being said, there are some people I want to thank. First, I want to thank my family for always seeing the best in me and sticking by my side through everything. I also want to thank all the teachers at MG21 for being my role models, encouraging me to go for my dreams, and showing me that life's struggles don't have to destroy me. Next, I want to thank all the amazing friends I've made in the last 2 years for letting me be myself, whoever that might be at any given moment, and feeling comfortable enough to do the same with me. Hi, Kit. Lastly, as arrogant as it might seem, I want to thank me for not giving up on me and making it as far as I have. For so long, I couldn't imagine myself standing here right now, about to move on to the next stage of my life. I don't think I give myself enough credit for making it through everything I have. We all need to give ourselves more credit, I think. I couldn't be here without all of you I mentioned, and I definitely couldn't be here without me. So thank all of you, and thank all of me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Olivia Normington, but most people know me as Livy. I've done the Monona Grove School District since I was in pre-K, but I found my way to MG21 my junior year. This community has not only helped me grow as a person, but also academically. For the past 4 years, my life has been a series of ups and downs, but coming to MG21 has created a sense of stability for me. Not only has MG21 been a safe community for me where I can express myself, but it's also helped me discover who I am and what the next chapter in my life will be. I've learned more about myself in these past 2 years than I ever have before, and I'm very grateful for that. I remember when I was a freshman, I had an old and wise senior tell me that high school was going to fly by. They told me that one day I would wake up and suddenly I'd be a senior. I thought that was cliche, but 4 years really does go by a lot faster than you'd think. I always felt like this day was way farther in the future than it actually was, so it's quite surreal to be standing here in a cap and gown, reading all the speech I wrote myself in 2 days. I would like to I would like to think that I made it here all by myself, but in reality, I have a lot of people to thank. I am extremely grateful for all my friends, teachers, and family who have all helped me get to this point in life, but I would like to go into depth about 3 specific people. First, I would like to thank my Aunt Sylvia for laying the foundation for the person I am today. And while I know she's not here with me physically, I can feel her spirit with the cardinals that follow me around. I would also like to thank Mr. Pink for always being my biggest cheerleader, #1 supporter, and for pushing me in the right direction always. He was the one person I could count on for great advice, and more importantly, someone I knew I could count on. Sorry. Okay. He too can't join us physically, but as some of you may know, he is the color pink. And last but not least, I would like to thank my dad. Oh, sorry, okay. He's my biggest role model, and I've realized as I've gotten older that all of those times he was really hard on me for when I was younger were for the greater good of my success. He's arguably one of the most inspirational and influential people I have ever met. He taught me how to be confident, to stick up for myself, and push through hard times because it does always get better. He taught me that sometimes we do have to do hard things, and it's just a part of life. The biggest lesson he's taught me, though, is that life is worth living even though it sucks sometimes, and that no matter what, he always has my back. I'm ready to start this next chapter in my life. It's honestly more exciting than it is scary. I know that it came as a huge surprise to my family when I told them I wanted to pursue a career in education, and more of a surprise when I wanted to go to a traditional 4-year college. I realized that being a teacher is exactly what I want to do in life because a lot of my teachers here and in the past have had a huge impact on me. I want to create that same impact on other people. I'm a very pushy person, I've been told, and I want to push other people to do their best, just like how my teachers did for me. Sometimes you do need to shove in the right direction. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Roberto Rip. I have been at MG21 for the past 4 years, including a year and a half of virtual. Throughout my time here, I have learned many things that I have expanded and my understanding of the world. MG21 has allowed me to grow in many ways I could not have imagined. When I was younger, I did not understand the difference between bullying and friendship. The people I met during my path at MG21 have taught me what real friendship is like. At MG21, I was able to find one of the best friend groups I could have asked for. They accepted me for who I was, and they did not try and change me. My friend Jacob showed me it was okay to be myself and not have to hide who I am. When assignments made no sense, Jacob was there to help me. He made learning fun. Gene taught me many things along the way, how to work with wood, fishing, and friendship. Not only is Gene my teacher, he is my friend. Senior year, my friends Elijah and Liam encouraged me to join the show band. And although I was unsure at first, I did it. And it was one of the best decisions ever. Show band showed me what teamwork really means. I've traveled to places I've never been, and it was awesome. Throughout high school, I learned it would never hurt to try new things. The experience I had taught me that even in new places, you will make new friends. When you allow yourself to open up, you will meet new people in places that you never knew were possible. As of right now, I have no clue what my future looks like. When people ask me, what are your plans after high school? I always say, I have no idea. I am exploring lots of options, and I'm confident I will find the right next steps forward for my path. What I do know is my core values are family, friendship, loyalty, hard work, and helping others. I want a life that still includes music. I want a life where I can have a stable job and income to support a family. I would love to travel in and outside of the U.S. and learn new things and see new places. Overall, what excites me the most is where the future will take me and my friends. The possibility is wide open. Now, I would like to thank my friend group from MG21. Honestly, I don't think I could have asked for a better group. You made me feel welcomed, and we have the best inside jokes. Like Mr. Brown, the we, and Drew Hawking. I want to thank my group from the main high school. You all are amazing people, and I'm so happy that I got to meet all of you. And I plan on making many more memories with you. Big shout out to Danny for being a great friend through all my years at school. He was my best online gaming buddy, and I hope the best for his future. Huge shout out to my great friend Jacob. He helped me with so much these last couple years. You were there when I was struggling, and I've made the best memories with you. Our inside jokes may not be funny to other people, but they're the funniest thing to us. A huge shout out to Elijah and Liam for being really supportive friends. You two are the best. You're both great fishing buddies, and you get me out of a bad mood so quickly. Your sense of humor is hilarious. I hope we can make even more memories together. To everyone I just mentioned, thank you all for being by my side these last 4 years. Big thanks to Gene for all the great poop stories and taking me fishing with him. I hope to get out fishing with you again soon. Special thanks to my family and teachers for being there for my 4 years of high school. I don't know how I could repay you. Now, I have to go on my own and find new interests. I wish my fellow seniors the best of luck. All of you are the best, and I'm going to miss every single one of you. Thank you all for coming.
The world breaks everyone, and afterwards some are strong in the broken places. Ernest Hemingway. Hello, everyone. I'm Arlo Weissman. I'm 17 years old. I've been a student at this school for 4 of my life's most chaotic, entertaining, and fun years. That quote shows that despite the challenges, barriers, and roadblocks we may find on our path, if we can embrace them and learn, we will always come out stronger on the other side and grow. MG21 has been a fantastic place to grow and discover my values and purpose. Before coming here, I was a busy homeschooler used to working on my projects and building a schedule. It challenged me to adapt to a social environment and interact with different people. It also encouraged me to explore subjects that sparked my curiosity and passion. For me, a significant growth was recovering from the virtual year we experienced due to the pandemic. Despite being a relatively introverted person, a whole year with very minimal exposure to my peers hurt my and everyone else's social skills. But in the 2 years since then, I have grown through my experiences traveling, training as a cyclist, racing bikes and cross-country skis, tinkering with bicycles, and working in bike shops. I've gained a greater understanding of myself, my values, and my meaning in life than I ever could have imagined. I've grown and evolved as an individual and a member of the MG21 community. I love riding my bike and exploring new places. That's why I've decided to take a gap year after graduation and pursue these interests while taking some exploratory classes at Madison College. My long-term goal is to attend a 4-year university and major in mechanical engineering. This is something that I've been interested in for a long time thanks to my love for bikes. I want to learn how to design and improve bicycles and make them more accessible and enjoyable. And now for the emotional part. I have so many people to thank for getting me to who and where I am today. I want to thank my family for always supporting my decisions, intelligent or less so, and for giving me the freedom and opportunity to pursue my dreams. I want to thank every teacher at this school for being inspiring mentors. Thank you, Rebecca, for being here daily and running the school better than anyone else could. Thank you to Ian. Thank you to Ian for inspiring me to explore every project I started to its full potential. Thank you, Michelle, for keeping everyone organized and for your subpar sense of humor. Thank you to Jean for embracing a squirrely freshman and mentoring me with your grandpa wisdom and trumpets. Thank you to Joel for giving me an example of how happy you can be by pushing yourself to be the best person possible and pursuing your dreams. Thank you to Stacy, Ollie, Marks, Belle, and Jody for always being there to help keep us somewhat under control. And most importantly, thank you to all my friends and peers who have helping me get through tough times and grow into who I am today. As for this graduating class, I'm grateful to each of you for supporting each other at this milestone in our lives. I'm excited to see the future and how we can make a difference. Thank you all for coming today.
I've got some things to say about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Spencer. Cheese. How about these seniors, everybody? These speeches were amazing. Give it another round of applause. Come on now. You get that down a little bit? Okay. So, you might be wondering what I'm doing up here with a guitar and why this crazy person stands here before you. So, to give you a little context, in the dark days of COVID, the pandemic, virtual learning, some of my predecessors, some former colleagues, started a band. And the band was called the Wet Wipes, fitting for the COVID times. The Wet Wipes celebrated graduating seniors with song. And last year was my official tryout into the band. I made the band, but little did I know that I would be the only wet wipe here. Anyway, I'm going to continue on the tradition, and I've got a little song to celebrate the individualism here and the collectivism of our wonderful seniors. And I'm going to bring a little Chicago blues flavor, tear the house down. And I did it to the tune of Sweet Home Chicago, so I hope you dig it. It's not too hot to dance to, clap, whatever you want to do. You know, get into it. Everybody get into it. All right, let's figure this out. So it goes like this. Come on, baby, let's go have some fun. Come on, seniors, let's go have some fun. Back in that same old place, Sweet Home MG21. Let me tell you about George. He's got a whole bunch of skills. He writes and paints real good. His work can pay the bills. Now here's Imani. Scholarship's got her all set. She's been teaching this year, getting ready for school at Marquette. Now we got Liberty. She's sweet as pie. She brings so much positivity, she's the apple of our eye. Now there's Danny. His mother brings him snacks. He's governance board student rep, and those are the facts. Now come on, baby, let's go have some fun. That same old place, Sweet Home MG21. Now Livy comes through, doing murals all day. You should see her beautiful art in the halls up on display. Then there's Kamana, loves to read and write. She's always so reflective, it'll take her far in life. Arlo's a leader, he always stays fit. He rides his bike a lot. I've never seen him quit. Felix is such an artiste. He'll write and draw to the moon. He's working at Gunderson now. You don't want to see him there too soon. Come on, baby, don't you want to go back in that same old place, Sweet Home MG21. Berto's busy at 9. You know what I mean. He's friends with just about anyone, and he's been a right hand to Gene. Ren's so open and honest. They've brought us so much. They've been rocking an internship, and making goals has been clutch. Spencer's been a friend to many indeed. He's kept so many circles. He's planted so many seeds. Elijah cooks real good, and he ain't a phony. You can find him in the kitchen cooking up some smackaroni. Come on, baby, let's go have some fun. Back at that same old place, sweet home MG21. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. And with that, I will bring back up the wonderful Rebecca Fox-Blair and Stacy Levin for the graduation diploma offerings.
It probably would help. I'm on my tippy toes. Hello, everyone. My name is Stacy, and it's time to present diplomas to our seniors. So, first one is Ren Barb. Congratulations, Ren. Okay. Next, we have George Bernards. Liberty Faith Boynton. Kimana Ray Crabb. Imani Rose Fisher. Elijah James Hippie. Daniel Stephen Howes. Felix Star Johnson. Spencer Milhon. Olivia Ruth Normington. Roberto Joseph Michael Rip. Arlo Weissman. One more round of applause for our graduates. Congratulations, you guys. We're going to miss each and every one of them. We have our parent-teacher forum. We'd like to honor our graduates with a small gift. And we have Elizabeth Wheeler and Katie Moreau who are going to present the small gift to each graduate. Thank you. And now I'd like to welcome up Jean Delcourt and Rebecca Fox-Blair for closing remarks.
Yeah, when we started this year out, first I got to qualify this. This a year and a half ago, I became for the first time a grandfather, and my life has not been the same. It's been one of the great joys of my life to be a grandpa, and so when the school year began and we started out by introducing ourselves and telling each other our pronouns, I decided that the only pronouns that I want to use is grandpa. So I'm Gene, and I'm grandpa, grandpa, and grandpas. Although nobody ever took it seriously enough to say, hey, grandpa's going to do this, or grandpa's in the bathroom, or whatever. But that's okay. As the students would certainly attest to, I like to lighten the air in my classes by telling stories or telling jokes or things like that. And I thought it might be appropriate to tell a quick joke to you all. I think these guys have heard it. Well, for anyone who's been here during the outdoor graduations, you know that I go off on that tree, that great big cottonwood tree that was the backdrop of our graduation, because it's such a stunning specimen. It's just a really beautiful tree. We don't get that, so a joke is going to have to do. And so there's a fellow named Oli, and he's coming home at the end of after bar time, and he looks up, and as he's passing Sven's barn, he notices the barn door's open and the lights are on. Oh, geez, what's that darn fool doing, he says. So he starts walking up there, and as he gets closer, he sees Sven is in the barn dancing in front of his John Deere. And Oli's says to himself, what is this darn fool up to? And then Sven starts lowering the strap from his bibs, and Sven says, that's it. Oli says, Sven, what the heck are you doing? You're making a darn fool of yourself. Oh, Oli, no one was supposed to see this. But I got to tell you the truth. Lena and I are having some marital problems, and we went to see a marriage counselor. And he told me in confidence that if I wanted to win her back, I had to do something sexy to attract her. I'll be here next year, too. For you non-farming types, a John Deere is a tractor. Notice I look at all the young students over there. I'd like to give my closing remarks to the seniors, so I'm going to turn my back, but the sound system should carry. Will this work if I'm standing on the side? I'll talk out the side of my mouth like this. That's not going to work. Can I take this out? I promise I won't do a mic drop. Okay. one last lesson. As you guys head out into your lives with this chapter, closing the door, and moving on to the unknown, one of the things that might easily get lost as you get jobs and buy cars and have bills and get credit cards and have more bills and max out your credit cards and go into default, and these things can happen. But something that I'd like to share with you now is sort of my last gift to you, and it starts out with a poem that I've loved my whole life, something that I discovered at a young age, and I met this girl in college a long time ago and shared it with her because I just liked her. I just thought she was really cool, and she said to me, "This is unbelievable. This is my favorite poem too." And so 30 years later, we're still together. We're still and it's a poem. It's written by a Native American man named Joseph Bruchac, and it speaks to a lot of how I've always thought living my life would be done best. And it goes like this: the old man must have stopped our car 24 times to get out and gather into his hands the small toads blinded by our lights and leaping live drops of rain. The rain was falling, a mist about his white hair, and I kept saying, "Get back in. You can't save them all. We got places to go." But leathery hands full of wet brown life, knee deep in the summer roadside grass, he said, "But they've got places to go to too." And that always struck me as, wouldn't it be nice if everybody lived their lives with being kind as their driving force? Just always try to remember to be kind. You know, in our world, road rage it's real easy to just shift into that because of the stress of cars going, a million cars on the road, and all the hatred that we see on social media and on television. Those are the things that sell, and so that's all we get flooded by, and not enough kindness. But if you can hold on to that, hold on to this lesson, and it may come up later. These are just seeds being sown, like I've said many, many times. I think that you'll be happier and your lives will be better if you can always remember to be kind. So that's my last lesson to you. Normally, I like to sing a song, a Ho-Chunk song that was shared with me by a very good friend when I was in college, and then singing with a local community Native American drum called the Madtown Singers. And he passed away. The man passed away, but before he did, a long time ago, he told me, this is a song that we did a wedding down at the gazebo in the park. I don't know where it is. Over there? Is it over there? That big gazebo. Did a wedding a long time ago, and I sang with him, and he said, you can use this song for any sort of special occasion to celebrate, because all it says is that on this day, at this moment, God is looking down upon you, or the Creator, or the Great Spirit, or whatever semantic you want to use. That force that guides us is looking down on you. And I noticed that my drum has been in here since this afternoon, and it was really tight when it was out in the sun, but it kind of sounds like cardboard now. I'm going to do it anyway, and just bear with me. Pretend that you're hearing this loud booming drum, okay? No, maybe I should just tap on the microphone. That'll be better. I'm just going to tap on the microphone as my drum. Okay, and so that's what this song is saying to you. At this moment, at this time, God is looking down at you guys. Works, huh? Wake kade we day, I day no yo hey, I day no. Wake kade we day, I day no yo hey, I day no. Wake kade we day, I day no yo hey, I day no. Wake kade we day, I day no yo hey. Hey, Ushkara, Waja, Gusada,
always a hard act to follow. I'd like to say thank you to a few people without whom this graduation would not have been possible. Thank you to Stacy Levin for all her tireless and beautiful artistic work creating grad signs, programs, the banners for the students, our school yearbook, and coordinating tonight's event. Thank you to Will and Nimmo. Yes, please, let's clap for Stacy. Yes, Stacy! Thank you to Will, Nimmo, and Brennan and their team for streaming tonight's event and helping us with all our sound and lighting. Finally, thank you to the entire MG21 staff for their compassionate and dedicated work over this entire year. Thank you to our administrators, Shelby Steele, for her guidance, support, and advice. Thank you to the MG21 Governance Board for their support and encouragement. This year, in addition to our graduates, we also say a sad farewell to two pivotal members of our MG21 family, teacher, mentor, and colleague Joel Jurowski, and Governance Board member, RJ Coordinator, and MG21 alumni Raiden Edseth Griffin. Thank you both for your work uplifting student voice and restorative justice in our school community. You will be greatly missed. As we wind up our graduation ceremony, I want to thank you all for bearing with the warmth and being here tonight to help celebrate our graduating seniors. We hope you'll stay and join us for some cake and punch as soon as the ceremony ends. I'd like to end with a final few words to the graduating class of 2023. Growth is never easy. It is hard, messy, and daunting. It's easier to stay comfortable, stay in the familiar, the known. Growth pushes us out of our comfort zone into discomfort and challenges us to take risks we didn't think we were capable of taking. The graduates here today have grown. They have challenged themselves. They have taken risks. From traveling across the country to do service work on the Lakota Reservation in South Dakota, to internships and apprenticeships in art education, funeral service, IT, and wellness, to pushing themselves to backpack 14 miles in one day on the dynamic Ice Age Trail. These students have pushed themselves way, way, way out of their comfort zones. They've worked hard to heal and find their way back and their path forward. They have worked to determine who they are and who they want to be. They are determined. They are fearless. They are writers, readers, cyclists, advocates for mental health, advocates for LGBTQ justice, and warriors for truth. They are an unstoppable force to make change and be the change. Graduates, as you head out on your road today, remember to always lean into and act on your beliefs and your convictions. Seek knowledge always and be willing to take risks to do the right thing. Always risk to be your true, authentic self. Musicians Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young once sang, "The darkest hour is always, always just before the dawn." Welcome to the new morning, your new morning. Seize the day. Please join me in congratulating the MG21 class of 2023.